An update now to a breaking story we've been following. A road in Atlanta now back open.
Yep.
It had been shut down because protesters had taken over a construction site.
Right, so we have Atlanta News First Don Shipman live with the First Alert breaking news tracker. Don, we also know cops have arrested someone, so what's going on out there?
Okay, the newest information I have is that they were able to get that person that was tethered to the elevator shaft of this building that is under construction here in Midtown. They were able to cut them away from that, and now they have just taken that person into custody behind that green truck right there. And there you can see that person wearing what appears to be a cream-colored sweatshirt. You can see that person in handcuffs right there, and authorities surrounding that person right there. That person was tethered to a section of the construction equipment that is attached to this building right here in Midtown. This all unfolded just about 2 hours ago, and this is all related to the building of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. The protesters or opponents call that training center Cop City. The contractor for this construction site right here that you're seeing live is contracted to build the training center. And this is actually the second time that protesters have done this here in Midtown at different construction sites that have loose connections or strong connections to the training center. The Atlanta police chief has been calling these types of demonstrations publicity stunts, a disruption to the neighborhood. And I would suggest that that is exactly what these protesters want to do. It should be noted that there's really no question about responsibility here, because Stop Cop City sent out a news release to local media this morning saying, in fact, that they would be here. They would have one of their protesters tethered to construction equipment. They would also have protesters lining the street, which they have done. We have video of that from a little bit earlier on, where protesters were out front of the building holding their signs and chanting. You can see them right here. But again, within the last 5 minutes, they just dislodged this protester from the construction equipment, and now police have that person down on the street in handcuffs, taking that person into custody. It should be noted as well that the two other people that were arrested a little more than a month ago at that other construction site, they were charged with criminal trespass. As far as charges involved with this particular case, not clear, but likely criminal trespass charges pending for this person involved. I should also mention that this section of Peachtree is back open to traffic, one lane in each direction. So the disruption as far as movement here in Midtown on this main thoroughfare, that was really down to maybe 1 hour, an hour and a half where it was closed off, but that is no longer the case here. This person now taken into custody. We're live here in Midtown. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.